My name is Ivy Prosper, and I tell stories from Africa and the African diaspora. My series is typically your guide on Ghana. Of late, I've been in Canada. I've not been in Ghana since June. Why? A lot of people have been asking me why I haven't been in Ghana. I've been missing out and missing in action from so many different activities that have been happening in Ghana. Now, I wanted to explain to some of you because I do have people who've been following me for a long time, some of my loyal subscribers. I appreciate you so much. And if you're new to this channel, I do usually tell stories, as I said, from Ghana or from the continent of Africa, telling news, sharing travel information, experiences on what to expect, and just generally talking about moving to Ghana, because a lot of people have interest in moving to the continent of Africa, and I share my experience moving to Ghana. Now, I've been in Canada since the end of June. And why did I come back to Canada? I left Canada for Ghana, and people keep asking me why I came to Canada and if I'm ever coming back to Ghana. I came for health reasons. Some of you may know that Ghana's healthcare system is not always known to be the best. But if you do have the money, you can have great healthcare in Ghana. So I'm going to explain to you, in February, I was hospitalized. I was seriously sick. And that hospital experience taught me a lot. I was in a middle range hospital. I wouldn't say it was top. It was definitely not top of the line hospital in Ghana. They were trying to figure out what was wrong. It was an infection. Anyway, long story short, I was very ill. And after I was released and went home, I was feeling better, but then I was having an up and down roller coaster. So my birthday came in March and I was doing okay. And then after a little bit, a couple of weeks later, I was feeling sick again, had to go back to the hospital for more treatments. So I've been in and out doing things to take care of my health, and in the process spending a lot of money. In Ghana, you do spend money when you go to the hospital. If you don't know, there is government hospitals and then there's private care hospitals or clinics and health centers. The private centers are more expensive. The better the place you go, the more expensive that it is. And the government hospitals are a lot less expensive. However, they don't always have the access to the best resources. And there's a lot of people there, so you might wait for a long time. They might not have enough beds, and so on and so on. So it is a tiered healthcare system. So in the end, a lot of money was spent, and a decision was made to come back to Canada. Just before I was going to come, I ended up getting sick again with typhoid fever. It was pretty bad. And then I got into a car accident. The car accident that I got in was hit from behind, came out of nowhere. The person who hit me is actually a TV presenter in Ghana. She hit and, she came out, gave her apology. She left. The driver didn't want to call the police. And I was so disoriented, and I know how the healthcare system is because I hit my head. I was worried that I might have brain bleed happening, and I wanted to get to a hospital as soon as possible so that I can get an MRI done. And so, I got it wasn't an Uber. I said Uber. It was a Bolt car that I was in. I was in a Bolt car, which is like Uber, for those of you who don't know. And the driver, he said he just had a conversation with her. She said she would pay him for the damage of his car. And she said she had to go see her grandmother who was sick, and she was in a hurry, and she's sorry. And I'm like, sorry doesn't do anything for the potential head injury that I had. And so, anyway, health issues ongoing. And so I made the decision to come back to Canada. In Canada, the healthcare system doesn't cost because it's under the taxes, or we pay taxes in Canada that cover the cost of the healthcare system. Now, I arrive in Canada to discover Canada's healthcare system has gone to shit because of COVID. So the last couple of years of COVID, over 2 years of COVID, what's happened is people in the healthcare industry, many of them have quit their jobs. And so there is a lack in the healthcare system because of a lot of people who left their positions. And there are wait times because there's people who, during the pandemic, they had procedures, medical care and whatnot that were canceled, postponed. And now those people are in line to try to get things done. And there's such a backup in the system. It was already difficult getting specialist appointments in Canada, Ontario. I'll speak for Ontario, Canada. But now it's even worse because of all of this backlog that's happened after COVID. I wanted to see my gynecologist. My gynecologist is not available until April 2023. Can you believe that? April 2023 is the first appointment that my gynecologist has available. And that was back in July that I was told, no, June that I was told that. And back in July, I saw my doctor. It took 2 months to get that appointment because I called in May when I was still in Ghana, and that appointment wasn't until July. And so from there, referrals to specialists that I need to see. And of course, the specialists weren't available. There's a long lineup, and my specialist appointments weren't until September. September. Yes, September. So anyway, I wanted to share that with my followers to let you know. So in Ghana, you can die if you don't have the money. And in Canada, you can die waiting for healthcare. You know, someone told me about someone they know, a close family friend who had stage 1 cancer at the beginning of 2020, middle of 2020 at the beginning of the pandemic. And the healthcare system in Ontario kept pushing them off because of COVID outbreaks. They don't want to bring people into the hospitals. And then now that they're finally ready to see this person, now the person is at stage 4 because they've been waiting for 2.5 years. And so, you know, like you'll wait, you can die potentially waiting for healthcare in Ontario. You can die waiting for healthcare in Ghana, because in Ghana, they won't treat you if you don't have the money. That's the problem there too. When I got into the car accident and hit my head and I got to the hospital and I needed to get the MRI, basically I got wheeled in, you know, in Canada, even in the US, when I was in the US and I got to the hospital for an emergency, they just started to treat me right away, regardless of the money situation. But in Ghana, literally, I come in, wheeled in a wheelchair, and then they say, okay, you have to go there to go pay the registration fee before anybody will see you. So it's like you could have a brain bleed happening, and now they're waiting for you to go pay registration fee, right? So you pay registration fee, then you go and see the doctor. Then the doctor's like, you need an MRI. I'm like, yes, I know that. And then so now you go down and they're like, the MRI they tell you, this is how much it costs to do the MRI. Now go and pay for that before we'll scan you. So now it's like, now they wheel you to the other side to go and pay at the registration, at the accounts department. You go and pay, get your receipt. Then you got to go downstairs back to go now finally go and do your MRI. And then if there's anything else, you got to go back and pay again. And it's like this whole back and forth, back and forth. So if you don't have the money, then they'll say, sorry, we're not going to do an MRI because you don't have the money, right? And if you had some brain bleed happening, then shit out of luck for you because you didn't have the money to pay. You know, it's crazy. So for those who've been wondering why I came to Canada, why I've been here so long, that is why I came, because of healthcare, because of medical treatments. And so I'm hoping to be in Ghana very soon. All I have to say is what a great time to be an African. What a great time for Africa, as I saw all of the footage of the Citizen Global Festival happening in Accra, and Usher being there, and so many other people, you know, just mind-blowing. I wish I was there. I should have been there, but I'm not. But I just want to say, commend everyone involved in the logistics of everything, you know, as well as the artists who were willing to come to Ghana. Usher coming to Ghana to perform. SZA, you know, the local artists on stage, Sarkodie, Stonebwoy, you know, and then, you know, African artists. I heard that Tiwa Savage was brought out on stage. She was not supposed to be part of the original lineup. Just fantastic seeing that all of this is happening. Ghana is on the pulse of pop culture. Africa is on the pulse of pop culture. All you have to do is see TikTok and Instagram and, you know, magazines and fashion. And it's just phenomenal to see how Africa is dominating in pop culture right now through music and fashion and style. And, you know, it's just awesome. And it's just really great to see. So I just wanted to give that update today to all of you who follow my page as to why I've been a little bit kind of missing a bit that I am in Canada. And I hope to be in Ghana back in Ghana very soon. So thank you so much, all of you who do follow, who have subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, check out some of my previous content, you know. Check on some of my content, see if you love what you see, you like what you see, and hit the subscribe button. share the video, make comments. What else do you want to see on my channel? Great things are yet to come. Great things are yet to come. Big things in the pipeline. I'm looking forward to sharing with you, not necessarily only here on YouTube, but if you follow me on Instagram, you can follow me on Twitter, and my website. So everything is Ivy Prosper. You can find me everywhere. So thank you so much for listening to me today talk about healthcare, talk about the experience of what it's like in Ghana. Make sure that you get health insurance if you plan on traveling to Ghana. If you think you have any health, may have some health concerns, get health insurance, travel health insurance. Or if you're moving, look to see if there's an international insurance plan that you can get while you're living in Ghana that can support you in all of the things that you need to get done. Make sure that you have money saved up in case of any medical emergency that may happen, because you will need the money to do the things that you need to get taken care of. And pay attention when you're dealing with your health in Ghana, because sometimes you have people who are frustrated. They're in a system that they've been stressed and they may miss the mark on some things. I had a nurse who came in and told me that I needed to take medicine 4 times. When I heard the doctor, he told me twice a day, and then the nurse came and told me 4 times a day. Now, if I hadn't listened to what the doctor had said, I would have listened to her and then taken 4 times a day rather than twice a day. You know, and I'm not saying this is something that only happens in Ghana, because those kinds of errors can happen anywhere. But I know that they're overworked and overstressed because there's not that many health care workers as well. So in some of the hospitals, as I mentioned, where I was hospitalized in February, it was middle range. I wouldn't call it a top of the line hospital. If I was ever to get seriously ill again, it's not where I would go back again to go and get my treatment. I mean, I feel like that place is best for like minor situations, but major situations, I wouldn't go back there again. I would go somewhere else. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching today. I appreciate you. I thank you, and I'll see you next time.